we are back out here, Millbrook Exchange Park. As you can tell, it's a nice beautiful day again. A couple things I want to knock out today. Want to talk to you guys this weekend. A lot of things going on. This event is a lot bigger than people think, and I just want to go ahead and talk about two things. One, obviously the Twilight Cup tournament is coming up. For me, it's on Sunday. I know you guys have a lot of other days where it's reserved and when it's going on, but also this current event that's going on. And all right guys, so what we're going to do first is we're going to try and catch this Luv Disc as hard as possible. Yes, we're even going to throw a raspberry and an ultra ball. Why? Because this will complete two of my tasks in research for catching 20 Luv Discs. I am working on a third one, but it is not there yet. Hopefully I will not get pelted on the head by any of these falling gumballs. That's fun. Anyway, and we're going to go ahead and keep recording because I want you guys to see this. You will notice in my research here there are two tasks that we just finished, both of them being catch 20 Luv Disc. And yes, there is a chancey. Now my question is, it hasn't been proven yet, can it be shiny? So I am going to go ahead and catch that because during this event, double candies, so I'm not going to stack anything right now. I am going to catch everything. In fact, I probably will clear out my stack and try and get double candies and try and stockpile, because during this event and community day double candy, people are going to be getting lots of swine up candy. It's going to be fantastic. 12 chancey candy there, up to 231. We are going to go ahead and catch the second one exactly. See, there's the third one. It says catch 20 and I'm only on 4. Once again, not a shiny, but turn up some brightness because it is a bright day. So I can see what I'm doing. 501 is a little bit better than that first one. Probably only going to use a regular Pokeball because it can't run. But I do want to talk about the Twilight tournament as well today, guys. The big part about it is, and the reason why I have a catchphrase, and my catchphrase has always been catch everything, dates all the way back to when my brothers played the main series games, back when it was Pokemon Red and Blue. I'm sure most of you guys played that game. My brothers would walk right by a Venonat constantly, or they walk right by a Pidgey, or they would, walk right by a Caterpie, or any of those lower level Pokemon that nobody considers anywhere near a threat. Well, the Twilight Cup is the perfect example of why I say catch everything. Why? Everyone is talking about Venomoth being a super fantastic person in the Twilight Cup, and a majority of you guys will walk right by a Venomoth or a Venonat if there's something else to be there. For instance, I was playing at the same park 2 days ago, and Ghastly is this nest. If you guys can't tell, there are 5 currently on my map. My buddies would walk right by, what else is here? They would walk right by the Bellsprout or the Hoppip just to get to the Ghastly because it has a shiny option. And I get that, I understand that, but it doesn't mean don't try and catch that other Pokemon, because right now people will trade you for a Legacy Venomoth to get the Sludge Bomb on it for pretty much half of their Pokemon. So that's what I love about the Twilight Cup, and that's why I'm starting to get behind Pokemon Go and this tournaments with the Sylph League, because I used to think it was just going to be, okay, pick a Pokemon, tap, who's got better attack, who's going to outlast the other person, that's it. Clearly, there's a lot more math to it, and yes, I have dove way too far into the math, and I have made Pokemon specifically for each league, and I will show you guys. If you search for CP minus 1500, no, not 2500, 1500, it will bring up every single Pokemon that you have that's below 1500, and then you can put in the ANS symbol and then type in whatever type you're looking for. So if you wanted to go through, that's not the ANS symbol, is it? Yeah, it is. And type in just poison types, right? And you just want to look up what your poison options are. You can see a lot of mine for the Twilight Cup are sitting right on top. But if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, there are Pokemon that people ignore, like Spinarak, there are Weedle, all sorts of different Pokemon that people will walk by and not catch because of this Twilight Cup and the fact that there are different move sets for different Pokemon, and each one has their own stats, and they now have all been buffed, and there's a chance for something else. Well, they're all valuable. So that's what I will say about the Twilight Cup. It's pretty fantastic. Ooh, a Licky Tongue nearby. How close nearby? up there at the corner. We might walk there here in a second because Licky Licky is still something I have not evolved to. So the other thing that I want to talk about, and you'll probably hear a lot about today, I want to try and make one video that I don't have to edit 57 times. We'll see how that goes based on this wind and things blowing around, but it looks like Niantic has finally put it in so that it's more than just tap attack. And what I mean by that is they've added buffs to the attack and defense stats based on the Pokemon within a battle. Now, does that mean just within PvP? Does it mean at raid bosses? What does that exactly mean? We're not 100% sure on yet, but basically what it means for all of the research that a lot of people have done and all the websites have done when it comes to PvP, you can throw it all out. No, don't do that quite yet. Sorry about that. I worked a lot on that and I did not want to lose that. But what it means is when you're going in and you're putting in your attack and your defense and things like that, and they've added a buff to it, it just means there's gonna be more math. No, seriously, there's gonna be a lot more math to it, and there may be ways around that math. If you get a perfect IV Pokemon, will it affect that? If you don't have a perfect IV Pokemon, will it raise their attack stat? We're still looking into it. We're still trying to figure that out. So what I would look at is when you are keeping your Pokemon, keep the ones that are going to be in the 1500 category. Obviously keep ones that have IVs over 85%, but it looks like it can help your DPT or your DPS. For all of you who don't know what that means, damage per turn or damage per second, but it's not going to affect your energy. So obviously you won't be able to build attacks quicker. They just will hit harder, which is kind of awesome when it comes to PvP. Right now they put out a thing, hopefully I can put that on screen so you guys can see it. Right now it's only affecting 3 moves that we know of, Ancient Power being the Mamoswine move and potentially changing things up, Silver Wind and Ominous Wind, but Ancient Power doesn't just affect Mamoswine. In fact, there's a lot of Pokemon, but this is just going to make Pokemon Go PvP more diverse and way more interesting in my opinion. If you can bring in a Dustox, or you can bring in, hopefully that's not too loud for you guys, if you can bring in a Dustox, or you can bring in Venomoth and somehow be a champion in the Great League because of it, it's just going to make things more interesting. Currently, like I said, we know about 3 of those moves. Knowing Niantic, knowing Pokemon, the way the main series was, and just the way that they want to make PvP a little bit more interesting than just tap, I have a funny feeling there's going to be a lot more moves that are going to impact. There are also rumors out right now of Smeargle coming sometime in March. I'm going to call it. That dude's showing up on the event that has to do with St. Patrick's Day. He will be in March. Everything's green. There'll be a green tournament for PvP. There's all going to be kind of crazy things, and I'm just calling it now. It's all going to have an interesting theme. I am not working with Niantic. I do not know anything about what they're doing, but I'm just calling you now. When it comes to Smeargle, if what everybody says is accurate and all of the information that we know so far is true, get that Smeargle and do not, I quote, do not use it against any other Pokemon until we find out if it can learn new moves. And what I mean by that is Smeargle could be a really awesome Pokemon if you decide to go up against a dragon Pokemon and all of a sudden he can now have dragon moves, or you can decide to PvP versus your best friend and get really interesting moves like legacy movesets from community days just by being the first Pokemon you attack. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how Pokemon Go is going to do that, but if that is how they do it and it's the first Pokemon you go against, do not use Smeargle. Okay, this is all hypotheticals. I probably won't even use it in this video. But the other thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is your stats. Like I said, in almost all my videos, I make a spreadsheet 9 times out of 10, whether it has to do with just general Pokemon being over 1500, the Twilight Cup top 10, the overall PvP top 10, which all has changed and will continually change. So that's why you kind of need these resources, you need this information, and that's why I hope you guys come back to me for this information, is so that you can have that advantage when it comes to the Twilight Cup and any other tournaments or any other PvP, or if you're just battling against the trainers. In fact, that's something else I want to bring up, because of the fact that a lot of you guys don't do those trainer battles. You don't have a lot of Sinnoh Stones. I've done a bunch of evolutions. I always keep at least 2 Sinnoh Stones. Here, I will show you guys on screen. Oh, I did get an EX raid pass. Cool. That'll be some fun video. All right. Down here all the way at the bottom, you'll see 2 Sinnoh Stones. I always keep 2. If I get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think the 8 is the most I've ever had at one time. I do like an evolution series. I still want to evolve Licky Tongue. I still want to do Yon Mega. I still want to do a couple other Sinnoh Stone evolutions. But what I will say is always keep 2, just in case some new Pokemon drops the next day and you want to have it. You got 2 to use it. But back to the point at hand. Trainer battles. This coming Saturday, and every day, you guys really should do this. You have a certain amount of opportunities in order to get Sinnoh Stones out of doing your training. Yes, you have another advantage of doing it at PvP, and if you have a brother, sister, mother, friend, you know, significant other, or just somebody that you meet up with, like I do every time I go to lunch, do a couple PvP battles, because you might get a Sinnoh Stone. That comes in handy for Gen 4 and any other evolutions that end up coming out with that. So be ready for it. Mamoswine's coming tomorrow morning. Literally, when I first wake up in the morning tomorrow at like 5 in the morning, I'm probably going to go ahead and do like 10 trainer battles just to see how many Sinnoh Stones I can get. I know you're only guaranteed to get 5, but never know how many you can possibly get. Then I'm going to get on the phone with my brother or my friend and do some PvP battles. If you have an ultra friend, do them from wherever you are. Get as many Sinnoh Stones as you can before the event even starts. Why? Because there's only that hour afterwards to do the evolutions to guarantee the Ancient Power move. Now, if you want the Ancient Power move, you got to have the Sinnoh Stones. If you don't want the Ancient Power move, then it doesn't really matter. You're going to get 2 awesome ice moves, maybe even a different move that we don't even know yet, because of his moves pool isn't solidified yet, and they're changing all of the moves constantly. But Ancient Power will be that legacy move. You're probably going to want at least 1 of those, maybe 2 if you want to trade it. Go out and get those Sinnoh Stones in order to do that. I hope that helps you guys. I'm going to go ahead and walk around this park, find that Licky Tongue. I'm going to catch this Natu, even though it's not a great Pokemon. Guess what? It might be great in PvP. It is still the Valentine's Day event, but the one cool thing right now is double candy on every catch. We were walking up to the stop because it has a Licky Tongue at it, which is not a Pokemon I see very common at all. Obviously, during the last couple Valentine's Day events, I have seen plenty of pink Pokemon, but the other cool thing is this is a Ghastly nest, which means double candy. Now, because of those Halloween events, I have plenty of Ghastly candy, but you can never have enough, man, especially now that Pokemon Go allows you to buy extra moves, and it could cost you 75 candies, or you know, you got to evolve a special one to get it under the 1500 cap. It's just kind of important to catch and have as many candies as possible, which is why I'm kind of glad I used to stockpile all the candies. This Wishmer being a little tricky, but we're gonna go up to the stop. It's this really pretty artwork here. I'm sure you guys have seen in the background of my videos a lot, but it's a gym I visit pretty much every day at lunch. And come on, Whismer, what are you doing to me? Oh, it's 427. I don't want to ignore it because of the fact that it could make that Loudred or Explode into the right 1500 category for a tournament. So I just have trouble ignoring any Pokemon until I know exactly what it will evolve into as far as CP, now that there's going to be different options when it comes to PvP stats. Okay, so there's another Ghastly. Let's go ahead and mount up with a Blissey here in this gym. You guys probably are curious what Pokemon I leave, but based on, like I said, I think I've done a whole video of this You might want to look it up for me. Based on what's already in the gym is what I choose. So as you can see, there's already a Snorlax in there. Oh yes, there's the licky. If there's ever a Snorlax in a gym, I usually leave a Blissey unless there's already a Blissey there, in which case the Slaking comes out. Now, if neither of those, 1017, if neither of those are there, then I will kind of go based on what Pokemon is in the gym and go with the opposite type effectiveness. The reason I do that is just to kind of mess with people that think they can go in with one Pokemon and destroy the whole gym. So if like there's a Charizard in there and you know that they can come in and wreck everything with water, I like to throw in like a grass Pokemon that's gonna eat up that water Pokemon. So at least it will eat up some of their supplies, let's call them items. All right, we are having a little bit of trouble with this Licky Tongue, but he's 1000 CP, so I don't want to ignore him. Then I'm going to catch this Ghastly and we'll probably head out. I didn't see any raids. I think there was one down the street that I kind of wanted to do, but I don't know if it will get to Porygon. Yep, that's the Porygon. All right, let's catch this Ghastly, see if it's shiny. Nope, still no shinies. I did the Gengar day, I've done every Halloween day, and still no shiny Ghastly. It's not one that I really want because Gengar is not a huge difference in coloration like some of them, but you know, you want a little bit of, I'm a collector at heart, I want all of them. But anyway, let's go ahead and see how many candies. Obviously we already got double candies for that, so we'll at least get 6. I threw a Peanut Berry, even though it was 1,000. Wow, this guy's like level 35. Let's see if he's any good. Certainly HP exceeds. Wow, he's right up there. But as you can see, I already have almost 3,000 candies, so I don't need any more. But if a Ghastly nest is here, I'm gonna do the whole nest, Ghastly nest. All right, let's see what the research was. 7 charged attacks in 7 gym battles. Not happening. Neither is the evolve a Pokemon. I could do it, but I don't want to waste the candies right now. There's another Ghastly. Will it be shiny before we get in the car? No. Alright guys, this has been another episode of JP Raleigh. As always, signing off. Catch everything.